This is the Safekeeper 2 push dagger, manufactured by Cold Steel. At the price tag, these can be found for around $45. The length of the edge itself is about 3.6 inches. As you can see, it has hollow grinds on each side of the center line. It is a double-edged push dagger, and it is a one-piece construction, as you can see, with the handle just being coated with some textured Kraton, which does provide an excellent grip. This weighs around 3.6 ounces, so very light for a fixed blade that gives you that much blade length. The steel on this is AUS 8 Japanese stainless steel. That is a cheaper steel, but yet for an item like this, which I would say is marketed primarily as a weapon, that steel would be perfectly fine. Here is a close-up of that double-edged blade. You see it is a fairly broad spear point, which gives you some more belly than is found on a lot of push daggers. And you see it's not a chisel grind like on some. Alright, it's grinds on both sides. And you see this is this is how it is in the hand. It's pretty well designed. This does give an excellent grip. See the textured Kraton right there. Can be held this way, also sometimes held this way. Let me show you the sheath real quick. This is the Securix sheath. You see all the eyelets around it. If you wanted to somehow make it a neck knife or lash it to something or lash it to a pack or to your web gear if you're a soldier. There's the plastic belt clip right there. Alright, fitting it in the sheath. You see it clicks in, and once it's in there, it is quiet. It doesn't make any noise, it doesn't rattle, and it retains it. Now deployment, alright, well, fairly easy. You don't have to pull that hard to deploy it. Yeah, that's the sheath that it comes with. Here you see a size comparison with the SafeMaker 1. Alright, probably the biggest competition to the Safekeeper 2 is this other Cold Steel push dagger, the SafeMaker 1, alright, which I've reviewed. As you can see, the main differences, first of all, the one on the right is a little bit longer, so it gives a little bit more reach, right? Whereas the one on the left, you can see it's not as pointed. It has a it's broader toward the tip. What that means is it's going to give you a little bit better slashing ability and slightly less penetration ability. The biggest difference between these two is the grinds. This one, you see it's almost flat. That's hollow, almost a flat grind, but it's basically a chisel grind. It has a triangular cross section, whereas this, it has grinds on both sides. Okay, so no chisel grind there. All right, and also the price. This, for some reason, this is around 45 and this is around 70. All right, so I think they're both, these would both be extremely effective. This is slightly more pointed and the tip is also just a bit stronger, but I really feel that even with a broad pointed head, this would have no problems in penetration, especially with your weight behind it. All right. Now regarding push daggers, you really need to be aware of the laws in your local area. Most places will consider this a double-edged dagger, so it might be prohibited on that grounds, and some places also have a specific prohibition against the push dagger design. Right, so you need to be aware of those those possible ramifications. As far as the use of this as an actual weapon, when you combine this with boxing techniques, it is absolutely devastating. You can pop out jabs and disable someone's hand. This will go right through the back of someone's hand. You can also use it with uppercuts, both straight into the body, hooking uppercuts, even if your opponent is much bigger and taller, up into the neck. Obviously, You should never use this unless it's serious enough that you would even use a gun. All right, hopefully you have one, but if not, this is basically a lethal weapon, no doubt. And you see how wide the blade is for a push dagger. It's fairly wide with good belly. That gives you even some secondary slashing ability, both in terms of a conventional hook. All right, it's, you know, I can't do it in front of the view, but a conventional hook, or from the other side, kind of a hammer fist opening up from the elbow. Right, so this has a lot of tricks: jabs, uppercuts, regular hooks, or kind of hammer fist slash like that. And the penetration on these is amazing. As I've said before, I know people that have tested these against deer carcasses, and when they step into it, it just goes straight through the rib cage. If that was a person, it would be into the lung. And again, I'm definitely not saying you should ever do that. Hopefully you won't have to. But if the company is going to sell this as a weapon, in order to properly review it, I have to address whether their claims that it is a weapon are actually accurate. In this case, it is definitely, I feel, for its size and its relative weight, about 3.5 ounces, for its size and weight, it's an extremely efficient weapon if you're trained to do punches like boxing punches. Alright, so in summary, you need to be extremely aware of the social and legal consequences of choosing an item like this. And as far as its abilities, it is a devastating weapon. And the price is very good on this, $45, very reasonable. You can see the fit and finish. It is well made. I hope you enjoyed getting a closer look at this blade. Stay tuned for many more. I'm out of here.